Okay, so we're headed right now to the church history library that's right across from Temple Square, kitty corner from Temple Square. The reason we're going there is we put in a request to pull a physical document that's in the church history catalog.
How'd you get to the catalog?
So
is it on your app, like your LDS app?
It's not on the LDS app. You just go to Google.
Is it on LDS.org?
It's not on LDS.org. You have to literally Google it. You type in Church History Library Catalog. It'll immediately pull up. And then from there, there's a section where you can search. Okay? So when we get back, we're going to film how to search, and we'll show to connect all the breadcrumbs. But what I did was I searched for Book of the Nem was my first search. Nothing pulled up. Then I typed in Nemenha. Nothing pulled up. But then I spelled it wrong. So I just typed in Nemenha correctly, and it pulled up, right? And I was like, what? The church has this in their possession, right? And then it has categories on the right-hand side that I'll show, and it's listed under Book of Mormon Apocrypha.
So they have it in, do you know what?
I don't know if it's a PDF. I don't know if it's a book. Okay. I don't know what it is. Some of them show a digital.
They know about
image.
it. It's in their catalog.
They've had it for 15 years or so.
And they list it as Book of Mormon Apocrypha.
Book of Mormon Apocrypha. Exactly.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about, like, we got canonized scriptures, we got Apocrypha, there's levels to this.
Yeah, so depending on what religion you are, take Catholics, right? Their canonized scripture is the Bible.
The 66 books of the Bible.
66 books of the Bible, that's their canonized book. For LDS people, we've got a whole host of stuff. We've got the Quad, which is obviously that same 66 books. Then we got the Book of Mormon, Pearl of Great Price, Doctrine and Covenants, right? And we believe that those are all canonized. Then you've got a subset, which is Apocrypha. And in Apocrypha, you've got the Book of Enoch is probably the most famous, right?
Right.
You've got some of Ezra. You got the Gospel of Thomas.
I know.
You mentioned another one.
Like Deseret Book, you can buy the Book of Jasher.
Book of
you
Jasher.
can go and buy the Book of Jasher from Deseret Book.
Hard copy in.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So there's a bunch of Apocrypha that are amazing and uplifting, and in fact, in Doctrine and Covenants, it lists the Book of Enoch as a book to learn from and as Apocrypha. And Joseph Smith
asked the question, like, hey, do I need to translate the Apocrypha? And the Lord's like, no, you're good. There's some very useful stuff in there, but basically read it and trust the Spirit.
Awesome. And so in that same vein, the church has this Nemenha records, it's Book of Mormon Apocrypha. And so a lot of people are saying, if it's true, the prophet needs to come out with it. And it's like, well, no, Joseph Smith didn't come out with the Book of Enoch. He even went to the Lord and asked him, should I retranslate it? And he said no. So there's no need for our prophet to retranslate it. They've got it in their possession.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then below Apocrypha, you have another subset of scriptures, which are pseudographia. And those are some that they don't have like a first source or where the actual source came from. And most of those are channeled books, right? Like the emerald tablets of Thoth.
Right.
Thoth, right? And that's supposedly Enoch, who brought these emerald tablets to the Egyptians, and they came to the Egyptians, guess what, just like John the Beloved did in a time of sorrow and hardship.
Interesting.
He brought these emerald tablets to the Egyptians, and what did it do? It elevated the Egyptians to the people that built the temples and had all of the...
That's the emerald tablets. That's
the emerald tablets. Pseudofiguria. And guess who it is? It's Enoch. It's Hermes Trismegistus. There's no question. You can Google who was Enoch, who was Hermes Trismegistus. They're the same people. And that's who taught the Egyptians how to build the pyramids. That's who taught the Egyptians their temple ordinances. All of the book of it all came from Hermes. And he not only came once, he came 3 times to the Egyptian civilization, and that's why they call him Hermes Trismegistus, which is 3 times great.
Gotcha. And is the Law of One considered in that camp of pseudofiguria?
Law of One is probably mystical pseudographia, right?
Okay.
It's mystical. It was channeled, and we've got a lot of books that are channeled. In fact, we were talking about this earlier, but the Doctrine and Covenants
is a channeled work.
Is a channeled book.
We call it Revelation, so we just changed the name.
Yes, LDS people, we say it's Revelation. How did Moses write the book of Moses? The book of Genesis? You know, like the entire
He
book
didn't
of Genesis,
translate anything.
he didn't translate it. Where did it come from?
He channeled it.
He channeled it, got it through Revelation. And so I think channeling Revelation, for LDS people, a lot of times they get freaked out about that. And they're like, well, I'm not going to read that. That was channeled. It's like, as was the Doctrine and Covenants,
Totally.
as was the Pearl of Great Price, as was the Book of Moses,
And Abraham.
as was Book of Abraham, as was Genesis.
Yes.
So, you know, but I'm good with a rock in a hat. Not channeling. And all that rock in the hat is doing is channeling it for him.
Totally.
It's helping him dial that in. It's the same thing that those papyri did in the, you know, from the Pearl of Great Price. And everybody gets so caught up in, it's not what they said, it was the Book of the Dead. And I was like, it doesn't matter. That's Moses' staff for Joseph Smith,
Right.
to get everything he needs
or
to
the
be able to
Neha,
translate it.
those little postage stamp things that he put into the crystal skull.
That's the wildest. I love that part, dude. Crystal.
Somebody
skulls.
needs to do a movie on that.
Be cool.
Yeah.
Our boy SH.
Yeah. Totally.
That'd be wicked. So, what our goal heading down to this library is, we don't know what we're gonna get. We don't know if we're gonna get a PDF, a printed copy, a physical book, and I'm hoping that there's some page beforehand that someone from the church has come out and said, this is Book of Mormon Apocrypha, here's what we think about it.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that we get an opinion. I want an opinion letter. I don't even care if it's from like a historian, or it doesn't even need to be the brethren, you know, like someone give us an opinion on it. On top of that, we have 4 other books we're hoping could be good. We don't really know what's in these books. One of them is called the Decoda, and it's the history of the Elk tribe, and they have some prophecies about a white prophet who came and gave them revelation and stuff. So maybe that's something good. There's some mound builder stuff. Apparently,
And
there's
you just
Utah. There's Utah mound builders.
You just kind of randomly just started selecting stuff.
Do you want to know how I found it? I
Yeah.
clicked on Book of Mormon Apocrypha, and it pulled up like 36 documents that were connected to it. And some of them were just like, someone from Deseret Brook wrote an article about Apocrypha, right? They're not all original documents. But then I clicked on one of the other things that the Book of the Nem was, Nemenha was listed under, and that was Native American tribes in North America. So I clicked on that, and that had a ton. That was like 67 documents, and I found these other ones, the Decoda, Utah mound builders. Bro, there's mound builders in Utah? Have you ever heard of that?
Utah?
In Utah?
I thought all these mound builders were like in Mississippi or whatever.
I've heard of all of the different places in the Four Corners where there's
Michigan.
writings and stuff, but not mound builders. Mound builders are way more ancient than the traditional Native Americans.
They're Eastern too, usually.
Yeah, almost all Eastern. They don't pass the Mississippi, from what I've heard.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Maybe they do, but I didn't know they did. But they have some in Utah. What else did we? Just a few books like that. So we're heading down there. We're gonna film it. We don't know if they're gonna let us film it. They said when we checked in, we have a filming policy. When you guys check in, we'll tell you what the filming policy is. So I don't know if they're gonna say you can only do camera or whatever. We're gonna roll with it. We're gonna try to get permission and document the whole thing. So
This is our first Kia David podcast field trip. So we've got David manning the camera. And just so you guys know, David does all of the film, all the editing. He's doing all that. It's a good thing, because if Trevor and I were going to try to do that, you guys would have like maybe one video.
yeah, you know what I imagine? I imagine like the floor of a Hollywood studio back in like the 50s with all of the movie film, just like piles of it, 4 or 5 feet deep. All the stuff
we
that
would
we
have
filmed,
content.
and we're just like, it's in here somewhere. Just going through the film. No way to get it out.
Yeah.
So
that's
David,
what happened.
thank you, brother.
Yeah.
We love you, and hopefully we get some good stuff here. And then the interesting thing is, in 42 minutes, we're going live with Chief Mitiga. Round 3.
We gotta. If we find anything in any of those books that are Native American, we gotta ask him.
I want to find out about the Elk Nation. He's got to know something about that.
The Elk Nation prophecies, or whatever those are.
The Elk Nation prophecies, the White Prophet. Yeah, it'll be fun.
I've heard. Listen, I've legit heard this. I've heard this fall people are like predicting this massive earthquake for Utah. It's either this fall or next spring.
I've been hearing earthquake rumors since the guy who wrote what was
Visions of Glory.
Visions of Glory.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy took so many people on a straight errand path. My brother-in-law, I shouldn't edit this part out. You don't have to. He spent so much money prepping. 100%. I'm talking a couple $100,000.
Hopefully look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're prepping.
This is amazing. You looked over the edge, seeing how far down it goes?
Oh yeah. You and I.
We were just there. Yeah, we should film that if we have time when we're
over
out.
here. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Over here, this is the church records. I think this is where we need to go. I think this is where our stuff is. Oh, sorry, guys. How's it going, buddy? Good.
That's a mission.
Yeah.
That's a mission?
Service missionary. So I think that's good because there's some things that just, like, it would be hard for them to be awake, right? That might be the case for all of them right now.
I think they should be paying members that are struggling to do that stuff. On all the churches. Yeah.
Hello. How are you guys? Good, thank you.
Okay, so this is the records department. I've been here before. If you haven't been here, come down here and check it out. It's free. But there's some ancient documents here. Here, follow me.
It's a card about this big. And when you go into the temple, you have to put it in there to make sure they're still.
Okay.
Like a membership.
Yes.
Where's your accent from?
Pardon?
Where's your accent from?
Oh, we are German.
German. Guten Tag.
Yeah,
okay.
Entschuldigung.
We should have had you do the tour.
That's about all I know. Nice to meet you.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
This is, they use this for like lectures and presentations.
Yeah, and lots of times, like, sometimes general authorities just come in here and do their, like, interviews and stuff.
Okay.
I think I've probably seen this in some backgrounds.
Yeah.
What kind of interviews?
Important ones.
Lots of times related to church history, or sometimes they do Instagram.
Look at this
Hey,
old
David,
school.
come get this timeline, dude. It's a good little visual timeline of the prophets and stuff.
Hey, you need to look at the handwriting. Since you've seen my handwriting, you need to go look at this handwriting.
Is it hard to read? Where's it good?
It looks exactly like my handwriting.
You're plagiarizing stuff, dude. You're Mark Hoffmaning stuff.
Totally.
So we'll be taking a look at the records in this room?
No.
Oh, no, this is
He's
just
just
a room.
showing us.
Yeah, like,
Oh.
you could get some good B-roll.
Maybe we
Thank
could
you.
do like one of those
Yeah.
offices with the glass door.
Do you have the book Faith Precedes a Miracle in here?
I don't know if we have it in here, but we definitely do have the book, yeah.
Listen, you need to know that, okay?
He talks about aliens
So
in there.
you got the Joseph Smith papers
Huh?
also from the Joseph Smith Foundation?
That's a good question. I'm sure we do, yeah. We basically anything related to the church. So this is like the official art. So this is like Joseph Smith's letter from Liberty Jail. This is Lucy's Max Smith's history of the church and her family. That's the first hymnal. But if you look over here,
Whoa, so tiny at first.
this is one of the original pages of the Book of Mormon.
No way.
This is Oliver Cowdery's handwriting.
Is it multiple pages or was it that long?
So it was that long, yeah. So only about 28% of it still exists.
And it's just kind of
So is this what they used to do the writer manuscript?
Yeah, so this is the printer's manuscript.
Okay,
Here.
the
This is a
printer
page
manuscript.
from, yeah. So they
Okay.
used this original and then they made a copy.
So between this and this, there was all those grammatical changes. And this guy, when he was setting his print setter, he's like, "No way, this is here." Remember that? All these.
yeah. But look how
This guy made me mad.
Oliver Cowdery has great handwriting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Shane's
Funny to see
got.
what's
Shane
not
loves
punctuation.
Oliver Cowdery.
I'm a big Oliver Cowdery guy. I'm doing I've hired a researcher that's doing some Oliver Cowdery research for me. I just feel like
Are these things?
This is, yeah, this is actually.
You're kidding.
So this is the first time Joseph Smith wrote down his first vision. This is his handwriting here.
No kidding.
Yeah, this actually.
So this is the version that has the one that's in our scriptures.
So that's actually the first one. The one that's in our scriptures, he wrote in 1838. And so this is like the first edition of the Pearl of Great Price. And that has this version in it. Cool. Yeah, this is the first time the first vision was printed. Orson Pratt printed a pamphlet. And then this is the first time it was printed in a language other than English. So this is in German.
and he wanted it to to like as a pamphlet, right?
Yeah, so Orson Hyde made it as a, yeah, they were both,
For
these
missionary
two were made, yeah. This one explains all the stuff you guys can see here. It gives like a little explanation of all the stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's fun.
yeah.
That's
When
really
was
cool.
that?
Yeah, no, you-
Open up your phone and turn on your memos
Yeah, exactly.
for second audio.
But it was really nice until about Saturday, they were supposed to get hotter.
'Cause we have some
Should we just head back in there?
talking
Yeah, they were
about.
about 10 degrees hotter.
So if you guys want to call down items, you just need to register to use the reading room.
Okay.
So that's one of the things you.
So I did register. I've got
Oh,
a
you
reservation.
registered.
I got a reservation.
Okay. What's
And they have all of my call numbers and everything,
Okay.
and they already verified that they were able to pull
okay?
on.
And so did you like watch the video and everything online?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're good. If you guys want to look with them, you need to do the same thing.
Okay. So how do we do that?
Yeah, I can show you here.
Holding.
You would just click on, so you're at history.churchofjesuschrist.org,
Okay.
and then you click on reading room registration,
Okay.
and then we'll get you guys. You'll log in, and you'll just click begin registration. So you'll log in with your
With my
account.
church ID.
Yeah, and I'll get you some headphones because you'll watch a little video as well.
Okay.
So Shane, can you explain what's going on?
So, in order to look at the documents, you have to be registered. Now, Trevor registered,
But you and I didn't.
but we haven't registered.
Enjoy your stay here. I hope I can help you with my language, with my English, and I can interpret. I hope I help you.
Verify me. Come on. I know my password. And what was your name?
Brian Passantino.
Brian Passantino. Thank
How
you.
long's the video?
It's about 6 minutes. Yeah, and if you want to go in there too, you'll do it too. So.
That's 6 minutes.
All right, so this is the reading room when you put in the request after you go through the video and watch it. And inside here, they have a no filming policy. Now, we just got permission to be able to film this so that we can show the process of how you get the records. We can't film any of the missionaries or the staff inside there, but we're going to go into a room and they're going to have our records and we're going to be able to look at them and film it. So here we go.
Right? So that they can understand my stories. Because I figured it's good.
Figure that out.
Of course. I'm sorry we weren't like
You guys all signed?
Yeah, and we did the
yeah, I needed to
Okay. And then you're calling.
Yes.
And yeah, so you guys are good with them now. You're just not.
I have all these people, LDS people on LinkedIn hitting me up as soon as I click submit. I was just like, so he shared
This is
the whole church
no,
note.
this just goes to security basically if there's a fire so that we can identify
Some of the security's got
Yeah.
back selling it.
Yeah.
Wander outside and
Yeah.
It's gonna probably be more than 10 or so. Our circulation is usually pretty fast.
This is James Tyler's desk they used to write Jesus the Christ.
No, really?
Yeah, his desk. It was in his office.
Did you hear that?
So this is James E. Talmage's desk that he used to write Jesus the Christ.
That's
on
cool.
This. That's way cool.
What's this right here? Council Room of the Apostles, 1911.
Here, don't touch that. They might get mad at us.
Just have to just leave them on calendar.
Oh, let me show you this here. Come here, brother. This is the chair. This is the chair that Thomas S. Monson got set apart in to be apostle. This right here is the chair. They had everybody around him.
Wow.
This was the chair. Yeah, they get set apart.
Can I have an appointment to get set apart?
On the Thomas S. Monson chair.
These are a gift to society, by the way. This project.
Oh, totally. It's actually it's a very dangerous thing because there's so much stuff in there.
Yeah, they just keep
They just put it out.
Yeah, I hope they do the same thing with all the stuff they bought from the Kirtland Temple.
Me too.
They just sort of like, here's everything from the Kirtland Temple, have at it.
Did you see that video that came out that I sent you guys?
Oh, talking about how why they paid $192 million for it.
It was a 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said it has to do with April 3rd, 1836. All of it has to do with the significance of that day. And, dude, that day just so happens to be my day in the calendar in the 200 years.
That's right. I think they probably wanted to, they bought it, they made the announcement March 5th. I think they wanted to like buy it and then April 3rd, like a conference meeting announcement. Yeah, but I think the word flew too fast.
It's cool, man. It's a cool announcement. It's a beautiful building. When,
Oh, should I be recording this voice now?
You're fine. You can say that. David has it. When my 19-year-old was 8 months old, my friend's wife was the costume designer for one of the Joseph Smith movies that the church was filming. And he called me and he's like, hey, do you want your daughter to be Joseph Fielding Smith in the movie as a boy? Because she didn't have any hair and she was 8 months old. She's like, our baby just got sick and we're filming it tomorrow. And I'm like, heck yes, we do. So we drove down to the production studios, and in the movie, I just watched it 2 weeks ago with my daughter, Joseph and Hiram are in Liberty Jail, and they're in the basement. Remember that scene where they open the square door, and they're like, Hiram, your baby.
That's
it's Joseph Fielding Smith. That's my daughter.
No way.
What year was that?
She's 19, so it would have been 18 years ago, 2004.
So that's a 2004 film?
Yeah.
I'm going to clip that in.
Anyways, in that movie, they did a complete reconstruction of the Kirtland Temple and had everyone in the pews and the stands. If you remember that video, it was beautiful. Just the replica was beautiful.
Where did they like legit build it?
Yeah, the inside. I don't know. I'm guessing the church has a studio of it. It was in like East Bay, Provo, the studio.
Okay.
And that's where, and I got to be one of the extras. I got like beard and stuff singing in that Kirtland Temple. But the video from the 70 guy that was, they had some videos of the temple, how beautiful it is inside. And he's just like, you can just feel the energy inside this place.
Well, listen, I think it might be symbolic too. When you think about how the Jews lost their temple and how the Mormons lost their temple,
I never thought of that.
And now how the Mormons have recaptured the temple that they lost, and how the Jews are preparing.
They're working on theirs.
They're working on theirs. I just look at the timing of things and say, never know.
Dude, do you want to know what I think is going to happen?
Everything's been repeated. That's important to know.
Here's what I think is going to happen. So we know that the Dome of the Rock, Alaska Mosque, is the place. That's where they have to put the
That's where they have to build do they have to build the temple there?
They have to build the temple there, yeah.
Okay.
And that thing's not coming down unless it's like blown up. So I think in one of these Palestine-Israel wars, there's going to be a false flag. Okay. Mm-hmm. And I think Israel is going to blow that thing up and blame it on Palestine. That's my prediction. It's going to get blown up, and Israel's going to be like, they blew up their own it's a false flag.
That would be their strategy.
Yeah, for sure. That's like a Reichsdorf moment when Hitler burned the Reichsdorf, the library. Do you know that?
I don't know that.
Yeah, Hitler burned the Reichsdorf, the most important library in all of Germany, to get the Germans behind him to go to war.
No
and he did it himself. He ordered it and he blamed it on the enemy, and the country was so pissed off. It's kind of like a 9/11, or it's like a Pearl Harbor. Like we use these things to ignite people and win hearts and minds to go to war. And we've seen the fruits of war. From when it was 9/11 and we were going in to fight Iraq, I was like, let's go.
America
blow those guys up. And everyone was behind that. And now I look at it 25 years later, 22 years later, I guess is what it is.
You just go,
I'm disgusted. How did I support that? And we just killed. There's estimates of between starvation and everything, the war alone in Iraq, over 1 million people died. And in the Book of Mormon, it talks about how their blood cries out from the ground for their vengeance. And Dude, we've been doing nonstop that everywhere. Ukraine. It's
Totally.
just horrible.
It's the same thing.
And I think people are waking up to it is a good thing. So these are the documents that we requested. Mementos of the Utah Mound Builders. I've never heard that there's Utah Mound Builders. You heard that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Utah?
I didn't know.
I mean, there's some
existed.
pretty big mounds right over there along the Wasatch Front.
Mounds?
I mean, mountains.
Mounds. Okay. The next one is the traditions of the Dekuda, an antiquarian research comprising extensive explorations, surveys, and excavations of the wonderful and mysterious earthen remains of the mound builders in America. So they had this, I don't know if it was a prophet or whatever, and they called him Dekoda. So let me see what that is. The next one is footprints of vanished races in the Mississippi Valley, beginning an account of some of the monuments and relics of prehistoric races scattered over its surface with suggestions as to their origin. The next one is we're getting a bunch of stuff on Denver Snuffer.
Oh, they got Denver Snuffers.
Yeah, I pulled a bunch of Denver. I want to see what they say about him. We know their position on it. Okay, and the next one is the Nemenah, Book of the Mentana records. What we got? You ready?
It's like the head computer.
Which one do you want first?
Can you do so? There's
The one in
three.
your
It should be five.
The one in your head.
Oh,
Just do one at a time.
yeah, we can just do one at a time. The one in your hand's fine.
You have to do one at a time. So
That's
what
good.
you want? This one on top?
Yeah.
Yep.
Just wanted to make sure it was the order you wanted.
That's your copy, the key.
You weigh it and even on a piece of paper like that and just weigh it entire.
Okay.
So are there opinion letters of these when they come with them? Is it just the document? Are there any?
It's just, yeah, so with that one, it's just kind of the nature of the piece. So sometimes we get books that are editions that have opinion letters and such. I think that's just what it is.
Okay. And then when it's listed on subcategories on the website, like one of them, this was listed as Book of Mormon Apocrypha.
Okay.
Okay, so how can you find more information? Is that all there is? What's on the website, or are there any opinion letters?
The book itself.
Yeah, opinion letters, classification.
Yeah.
We want to. It's important to know what the church thinks too.
Yeah. Let me. Yeah.
Somebody got to page 31.
No, that's just where they marked it.
Oh.
Make sure
And
that paper's in there when you read it.
this signature.
Look at this. Look at this. This is.
Let's go inside the office. They said that we can go in the office.
Oh, where's the office?
Are those on now?
We go in there.
Oh, it's open.
Yeah, there's people who walk.
Oh.
Let me make sure. I think I might go.
Okay. Sit down.
So check this out. Okay, so I'm a big believer that there are no coincidences. It's not just they randomly put this bookmark here. I want everybody to know this bookmark was here. We didn't put it there, right?
Yeah.
They put it there. So let's see what it is, because whoever put that bookmarker knew that on this day we would be coming here.
Yeah. Okay. What does it say on the bookmark?
Don't know.
Reservation. I'll flip over. Res. Book area. M229, M549, version 1 through 3. It's like the call number. Okay.
Okay. Now, the verse that popped out to me is, I am Jesus Christ, the Son of God. I created all things in heaven and all things in earth. I counseled with the Father.
Let me get it.
I counseled with the Father in the
Your right
beginning.
hand. Get all of this. There we go.
I counseled with the Father in the beginning. I am now in the Father, and the Father is in me. For the Father hath given me even all that he hath. I came unto my own, and they received me not.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So we actually can't use the inner reading room right now, but yeah, you guys are free to pick any space in your room. You guys can often read from it.
Okay.
It's just like the electronics, phone calls, or
Gotcha.
videos. We can't.
Gotcha.
What you guys are doing?
Okay. So he says, I came unto my own, and they received me not. And the words of the prophets concerning my coming are all fulfilled in me.
They're not receiving this.
And unto as many as have received me, behold, I have given them the way. Okay. So this, literally, this part right here is Jesus coming and visiting. This is the record of, we know it as Og.
Okay.
This is Ogu.
What he said the first 32 pages.
Exactly. And this has,
Page 30. So this is Jesus talking to them?
in the midst of the thick darkness. So this is like,
I didn't know they had that.
if I marked the Book of Mormon and I said,
Third Nephi 11.
Third Nephi 11, that's this right here. This is Og, chapter 2, or is it just chapter 1?
Do they even have that?
Yeah, Og, chapter, because it's going through the darkness that they experience. And look at the voice, look at this. And the voice did not cease, the horrible tale of destruction. And then he says, I am Jesus Christ. And so this is the visit of Christ to these people in this book.
Yeah, here's a question I saw somebody ask. Does the Father announce the Son in this account like he does in 3 Nephi 11? You know what I'm asking?
Yes. He doesn't. He just says, I am Jesus Christ. Talks about the people getting sunk into the sea. The prophets and stone the messengers of God. They were consumed.
I took a picture of that whole fifth page and we'll run it through GPT and see what it says. Go to the first pages of it. I want to get a picture. Oh my goodness, it's a little book.
Yeah, this is an epic edition.
Holy crap, man. This is what's written right there.
And thing that was, I want to see if there any. Oh, check this out. Here's the temple. This is their temple down. You can see Jehovah, Michael, Jehovah, Jehovah, Michael, Jehovah. Elohim, Heavenly Father. So there's an Elohim, Heavenly Mother. Holy Ghost.
That's gonna get censored. Is this volume 1 through 3? How many volumes are there?
I have no idea.
There's more books that aren't part of this, right?
Maybe.
That's what I'm assuming. That's what I mean by volume 1.
Look, and then there's Peter. So it's got whatever this endowment is, it's got it.
To me, that part feels the most made up out of any of the stuff in it. I see that, I'm like, they wouldn't have all these names. They wouldn't have Peter. These guys wouldn't know what their name is.
So Cloud Pilot says this was given to him. This wasn't translation.
Oh, that makes more sense. Okay.
He says it in this, I think, right here. And I said, okay. Look at the high place. Translation Council. Here's his Translation Council.
Yeah.
What's the names?
I got pictures of that. I'll translate.
Philip Cloudpiler, Cesar Padilla.
Yeah, can we imagine?
Tui Zhu of Guatemala. Minami Shen of Taiwan.
She's the Buddhist.
Porfirio Munoz of Ethiopia.
That's kind of cool.
Nice.
Okay, so let's return this one, check out the other books, and get out of here.
So you got
On the site, it just said Book of Mormon Apocrypha. So like, Book
Yeah,
of
so
Mormon
if you
Apocrypha.
use like possibly
I have to have you
look
sign
it
this.
up online and see if it's anything. It should be looking at the print.
Save that.
It should be something that's accessible.
Did you find out if there's any commentary or opinions on different documents? Like, is there a resource that's maybe not made to the public?
Next one.
So that's a really good question. And
That's what the Holy
honestly,
Ghost
our
does.
catalog is just not really for more opinions and commentary. Something more of what you're thinking is more like the BYU
You like to sign? It's just
journals and
yours.
stuff that will
I wonder
have.
if BYU has anything.
Yeah, they will have.
BYU Library.
Yeah, BYU's a good place to check if they have academic journals. Be more commentary.
That'd be
Our
cool.
catalog is really just what we house digitally and.
I want someone to make an opinion of it, that matters. Someone smart.
There's tons of that if you look out at like JSTOR, if you've heard of that kind of journal, it's online, it's available for BYU.
A store?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's
Is it a catalog?
Oh yeah, it's like an academic.
yeah, it's like an academic. Sorry, I don't want to understand you. It's an academic journal site. And if you have any kind of BYU account, you can get in. But this is
So you have a BYU account to get in?
yeah, for free.
Okay.
But this is a really great
Yeah,
site.
you need a student ID.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah, for free. But there are other ways you can.
I just got confirmation from Steve that yes, they can use that room.
Okay. So yeah, if you would like to enter you can. Sure.
I heard that this book was on a do not read list for the church, and it recently got removed. It was on the list for 20 years,
Yeah.
and then it's a list available for bishops and sick persons.
Yeah. There might be like academic commentary on it and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So yeah, you never know what people have written about, and I'm sure that's kind of a hot topic. So
Yeah.
Be aware that people may walk through there.
Oh, it's fine.
You'll hear the feeling they're done.
Yeah, we'll have to just stop them and say you can't pass. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? We got permission for everything. Exactly. Pull out my cane.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready, dude?
Am I ready?
I got the backstory on this. Traditions of the Decoda appears to be a book that focuses on the traditions and stories related to Decoda, who was likely an indigenous figure or an important character with a specific cultural or historical context. The book likely covers various aspects of traditions, customs, possibly the history of legends associated with the Decoda's people. To provide a more detailed summary, I need more information about the contents. Okay, so we don't know what this is, but let's go through it.
There's a mound.
That's a
That is definitely
A
a
mound and a pyramid. It's called the Ancient
battle mound.
American Battle Mound.
Sounds familiar. Where is that, in New York, maybe?
No idea.
Called Cumorah?
Traditions of the Last Prophet of the Elk Nation.
That's the one. The Prophet of the Elk Nation. Okay, so keep pulling to that. I'm going to ask ChatGPT about it.
This is Dekudah. Dekudah is the
Who is the prophet of the Elk
Elk Nation.
Nation? The prophet of the Elk Nation is John the Beloved.
Shut up.
Are you joking?
I promise. Tell me about the
prophet?
the stories. The prophet of the Elk Nation, John the Beloved. The stories of the prophet and the Elk Nation revolve around John the Beloved, a figure who holds significant spiritual role within the Elk Nation. The narrative often depicts John as the wise and guiding prophet who leads this people through various challenges and spiritual journeys. Key themes in these stories include guidance and wisdom, the preservation of sacred traditions. In the lore, John the Beloved provides counsel and spiritual teachings, helping the Elk Nation navigate through periods of turmoil, ensuring that their spiritual and cultural heritage is maintained. Guys, we were meant to find this book.
No question.
This is out of 5 books. How many did I text you guys that night?
Oh, dude, 30? 40?
At least 30. Okay, I'm going to keep going. These stories may also include elements of prophecy, miraculous events. Bro, there could be prophecy in here about the last days.
If John the Beloved's involved, you bet.
Yeah, Revelations. reflecting the deep spiritual connection between John the Beloved and the higher powers revered by the Elk Nation. These tales serve as a moral and spiritual lessons for the community, emphasizing the virtues such as faith, resilience. Okay, I'm going to say, tell me about some of the prophecies.
You have to check that bookmark too, Shane.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. Published in 1858 by William Pigeon. So this would be,
There's prophecies, they're outlining them. You ready?
no.
Yes. The prophecies of John the Beloved for the Elk Nation are rich in spiritual significance and guidance. Here are some of the notable ones. These aren't even all of them. The prophecy of unity. John the Beloved foretold a time when the Elk Nation would face internal strife and division. He emphasized the importance of unity. Teaching. We should ask Mitiga about this.
If he knows anything about the Elk Nation.
I'm sure he does. He emphasized the importance of unity, teaching that only through coming together as one people could they overcome the challenges ahead. He prophesied that the Elk Nation would emerge stronger and more resilient if they upheld values and cooperation and mutual respect. The vision of the great elk is one of the most famous prophecies. John had a vision of a majestic elk standing on a mountain peak overlooking the lands of the Elk Nation. The great elk symbolized the strength and spirit of the people. John interpreted this vision as a sign that the Elk Nation would endure through hardship and that their legacy would be as enduring as the mountains for themselves. The prophecy of the sacred waters. I've heard people talk about the sacred waters. John spoke about a future drought that would test the resilience of the Elk Nation. He advised people to repair by safeguarding their water sources and preserving their natural resources. He also predicted that sacred spring hidden within their territory would reveal itself during the driest of times, providing life-sustaining water and reaffirming their faith.
Wow, we need to figure out where that is and do a field trip there.
Oh, that'd be cool. The warning of the dark clouds. John warned of impending external threats symbolized by dark clouds gathering on the horizon. He urged the Elk Nation to be vigilant and strengthen their defenses both physically and spiritually. Prophesied that their strength and solidarity would be tested, but if they remained true to their values, they would repel any adversary. The promise of the Golden Age.
Oh, this is good. This is our time.
John prophesies a future era of prosperity and enlightenment for the Elk Nation known as the Golden Age. He described this time as one of great advancements in knowledge, peace, and harmony with nature. The prophecy encouraged the people to pursue wisdom and maintain their spiritual practices, ensuring that they would be worthy of entering into this blessing. These prophecies shared by John the Beloved have guided the Elk Nation through various trials and have been a source of inspiration and hope for the generations. How do we not know about this? As LDS people, because not all Christians believe that John is continuously on the earth,
Right.
Some of them are waking up to it.
And this is an LDS.
I know.
This is just
Tribal. This is Native American. They believe this. He's been coming to them for centuries.
Who knows how long? Giving them prophecy.
Okay, tell me more.
Oh, you need to ask what age or year those prophecies were created. Because it's a 1950s book.
Or when was John with the Elk Nation?
Exactly, yeah.
The specifics of the Golden Age, era of enlightenment. John predicted the Elk Nation would experience a profound increase in wisdom and knowledge. The period would see the rise of great teachers and scholars who would uncover and share ancient secrets. That's what's happening right now, dude. The period would see a rise of great teachers and scholars who would uncover and share ancient secrets, enhancing the spiritual and intellectual life of the people. There would be an emphasis on learning, with sacred texts and teachings becoming widely available. I'm so glad I asked this question. Technological and agricultural advancements. The prophecy described times when the Elk Nation would develop new technologies and farming techniques that would ensure abundance and sustainability. Innovations in agriculture would lead to bountiful harvests, eliminating hunger and providing enough for all. Remind me to talk to you about this. Sustainable farming. These advancements would be in harmony with nature, respecting the environment and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. Cultural flourishing. John envisioned a renaissance of arts and culture within the Elk Nation. I'm going to skip peace and harmony. The golden era would be marked by a period of peace and unity. I'm going to skip spiritual awakening. John prophesied of widespread spiritual awakening during the Golden Age. The Elk Nation would experience a deeper connection with the divine, with many individuals.
What if Mitiga is tied to the Elk Nation somehow?
Yeah, I mean, he says they're tied to all of them because it's the same 7 families. Environmental stewardship. They have a health and well-being. A prophecy spoke of advancements in health and well-being. We're seeing that right now.
Yeah.
Guidance from the great elk.
Holistic approaches. to medicine as well.
Yeah, I mean, look what's happening with CBD and THC.
Totally.
Like we're barely
And mushrooms.
And mushrooms. People are, they're just barely starting to experiment with that. Guidance from the great elk. Throughout the golden age, the great elk would continue to be a symbol of strength and guidance. John foretold that the spirit of the great elk would inspire leaders and guide people through this prosperous era. During that, they remained true to their values and principles.
Amazing.
Wow.
We got to buy this book.
Yeah, it needs to be dissected. You're talking about the...
So we're asking, when did John come
Yes,
to these
please.
people?
According to the traditions of the Elk Nation, John the Beloved came to them during a time of great need and spiritual teaching. The exact time of his arrival is often described as several generations ago, in an area when the Elk Nation faced significant challenges, including external threats, internal strife, waning connection to their spiritual roots. John's arrival is said to have coincided with a pivotal moment in the Elk Nation's history when the people were desperate for guidance and wisdom. He is seen as a divine messenger, bringing with him teachings, prophecies, a renewed sense of purpose. His presence and the subsequent prophecies he shared helped to unite the Elk Kingdom, guiding them through difficult times and setting them on the path toward prophesied golden age. The stories and teachings of John the Beloved have been passed down throughout generations. I'm going to ask you a question. Have other Indian tribes spoken of... Yeah, been visiting of John.
Hey, well, just so you know, ask also, when did the tribe have the hard times that it just described?
Yeah, that's a good point. Oh my gosh. The traditions and stories of John the Beloved visiting various Native American tribes are diverse and vary wildly. So he's visited tons of them.
Of course.
Why do we not know about this?
Of course.
Some tribes have
What do you
oral
think he's
histories.
doing? Hanging out in the Bahamas?
Some tribes have oral histories and legends that suggest encounters with divine or prophetic figures, which some interpret as possibly being John the Beloved. We know one does 100%. Here are a few examples of such interpretations. The Hopi tribe, the Zuni tribe, the Lakota tribe, the Cherokee tribe. And it gives like an explanation for each of them. The Cherokee legends include references to spiritual beings and prophets who visited their ancestors. These stories emphasize the transmission of wisdom and sacred knowledge, which each could be seen as akin to the role of John the Beloved. The Lakota tribe traditions include a story of the white buffalo calf woman, a divine being who brought sacred ceremonies and teachings. While distinct from John the Beloved, some parallels are drawn in terms of the spiritual guidance and prophetic messages. One of the comments on our video, wait till I pop this in, is there was just a white buffalo born in Yellowstone.
I saw it.
Okay, so watch this. What is the white... Oh no. So there's a prophecy that talks about white buffalo being born in there in significant times, kind of like a red heifer type thing.
Yeah.
So you type into ChatGPT, when is the last recorded white buffalo born? Wait till you hear the date. Hopefully it pulls up the same one it did for me today. June 4th, 2024.
You're telling me like a week ago?
Yeah, and guess
Or
where it's
2
at?
weeks ago?
Yellowstone National Park. 10 days ago. 10 days ago. And then there was also one that was like the day before the eclipse. And there's two that's happened, which is super rare. It's usually like hundreds and hundreds of years. Two of them.
How rare is a white buffalo being born?
One in 10 million. You know, there's not even 10 million buffaloes alive.
We've had two
since the eclipse
in the last 60 days.
Holy smokes.
Their rarity enhances their spiritual significance, making each birth a significant and revered event within indigenous culture. So that's one of the questions that I have for Mitiga tonight, is about the white buffalo.
Okay, cool. Dude,
all right,
incredible.
Let's grab the next couple books.
The last question is, do we have a time when they experienced this hardship? Like, do we have an actual date? Not just several generations ago?
When did these...
When did the Elk Nation...
When did the Elk Nation...
All you have to do is say, how long ago was 7 generations ago?
It didn't. It said several.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't.
The losses and hardships is a good one. It'll be
generic, but it'll give us a time.
What's
The
the
Elk
question you
Nation.
asked?
When did
Basically-
the Elk Nation suffer these losses and hardships? The Elk Nation's period of suffering and hardship, as conveyed in their traditions, occurred several generations ago. This era was marked by significant internal strife. The exact timeline of these events isn't precisely recorded, but it is described as being in a distant past, when the Elk Nation faced numerous challenges. John the Beloved's arrival during this critical time brought much needed guidance. I think it's crazy that they're calling him John the Beloved.
No, they're calling him John.
Like, they're not saying
100%.
a white messenger or a prophet.
No, they're
like,
calling him
John the Beloved.
Yeah, totally.
That's wild.
So we can't even get him ChatGPT to guesstimate.
No.
Okay.
I'll say guesstimate. I like pushing. I'll say
What's that bookmark?
take your best guess.
Here's the bookmark.
So we need to
Oh.
National
we need to
Memorials.
get this entire book
Oh,
and check it
totally.
for all John's prophecies. There could
Totally.
be stuff that are related to us, and
100%. 100%.
so this is when they think it is.
This goes
it's
through-
likely
this goes
that their
through-
time period of significant losses and hardships occurred approximately a few hundred years ago, possibly the 18th or 19th century. So 1700, 1800.
Well, that lines up. I mean,
Oh, for sure.
America coming here, and that would make
All the
things pretty
disease,
tough.
everything
Oh,
going
yeah.
on. Okay.
So imagine John the Beloved coming before all the Americans.
Traditions of D. Kuda. We will be reviewing this. Prophecies of John the Beloved. You know when they said 100th part?
Yeah.
You know what we should do is put
John
together.
the Beloved.
We should put together a site and have all this documented on the
Oh,
site.
we're creating our own repository.
Yeah, it's our own Kimura.
After
Oh,
seeing,
yeah.
We're calling it Kimura.
Yeah,
That's
after
right.
seeing what some other people have done with their
Yeah.
own repositories, no, we'll do our own. Okay. Do you want me just to go get the other?
Yeah.
book?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm Googling this book. Dude, can you
I just-
believe that that's what it was?
I just got the thumbnail off your expression.
How crazy that it was John the Beloved, bro, out of all the books and all the things. I knew this was a good one when I...
All real time, guys. Real time. 4K.
Nice. Traditions of the Dakota. William Pidgeon. If I can get it on a PDF, I can have ChatGPT analyze the snot out of it. Oh, here it is, PDF.
You can get a lot of stuff off archive.com or as well. We probably have a version of it on archive.org.
Okay, book download PDF. Dude, checkmate.
How many pages is it?
We just saw, I guess, 300. 351. Okay, now I save it. So this is for ChatGPT. So you save it to file, which puts it in your iCloud. Click save up here.
And for
This-
our Android users.
Buy an iPhone.
Yeah.
Click save. Okay, replace. I must have already had it. Keep both. Okay, then did you get the new one?
Go finish what you're doing.
Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm putting in ChatGPT, and then you can upload the whole book. Click, open, and then I can say, write a summary of all of John the Beloved's prophecies, teachings, and interactions. All right, what's the next one?
Okay. Footprints of vanished races.
Okay, this one isn't the mound builder one yet.
What is this booked as?
I don't even know. Let's see what it is.
Okay, well, so we open this up.
I'll ask ChatGPT what it is in just a second as soon as this uploads.
Okay, this is the Mississippi Valley one.
Okay.
Being an account of some of the monuments and relics in that area. Somebody just texted me, I'm reading Visions of Glory right now, and the events are what happened if we fail, right? This is where the bookmark was, Temple Mounds. Maybe there's something we need to know on this particular page. This one is not as cool as all of our other ones.
I don't know, hearing about Temple Mounds does sound pretty awesome.
Everything's going to be a letdown after discovering John the Beloved visited Indian tribes.
You know what's interesting is even in the Nemanhah record, John gets brought up, even to them. Okay, this was written in 1879. Okay.
Okay, so here's what this book is about. Let's see if there's anything important before we return it. Okay. It says, Footprints of Vanished Races by Jasper Allen. Here are the key points about the book. Introduction of the mound builders.
Okay.
Types of mounds.
Okay.
Geographical focus. Cultural connections. Archaeological discoveries. Historical speculations. Connet engages in historical speculations, proposing theories about the origins, migration, and eventual decline of the mound builders. He suggests the climatic changes, warfare, and assimilation contributed to their disappearance.
That's what most archaeologists say today.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing new.
yeah, nothing new. No,
Okay.
no John the
Nothing
Beloved,
smart.
no Jesus Christ visiting him. Okay, next.
My goodness.
I just asked it, are there any connections to any Native American tribes or prophecy? So it's going to check in the book and see if there's anything. Conant suggests that the traditions of the Native American tribes may hold echoes of the mound builders' culture and practices. While direct connection to specific tribes or prophecies are not extensively detailed, he points that remnants of these ancient civilizations influenced the culture and spiritual traditions of the later Native American groups, which is the 7 tribes of Lehi. Right?
Yeah.
Became the 7 tribes, and they all split, and now Midiga says there's 49, but they
Yeah.
all come from the 7.
What are the seven tribes of Lehi? Just
I don't know. I've just heard people talking about that.
We're supposed to be wearing those gloves behind you.
They'll tell you if you do. Depends on the document.
Look at this. Look at this dog. This one is prehistoric relics of the mound builders. So,
This one you're supposed to use
oh really?
and it'll look cool on camera too.
Okay. That's
Okay, so I had ChatGPT tell us all of the.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Come through.
Here's a summary of John the Beloved's prophecies, teachings, and interactions with the Elk Nation based on the document traditions of the Dakota. Arrival and role. He talks about his arrival and his role. Prophecies.
Oh my
teachings. Interaction.
Are you saving this
legacy.
on the doc?
Yeah, just like I taught you the trick, dude.
This guess how much this cost back in the day for this little name?
80 cents.
25 cents.
You gotta text me that PDF.
I just did, dude. Let me take a picture of the front page of that for ChatGPT. Okay.
Okay, this looks like another mound builder type book. It's a short one.
I want the Utah Mound Builder one. Is this the one? No, because it actually, I think, says Utah Mound Builders.
What's that tablet?
Clay tablets of the law.
What?
This also is a clay tablet about the same
BYU
size.
probably says it's fake.
Oh, really?
Clay
Well,
tablet of the law? What is it?
They
The
think
Ten
other-
Commandment tablet?
That's what it says.
What? Let me take a picture of that.
There's another tablet right here. Deluge tablet.
The flood tablet. Oh, yes.
Flood tablet.
I've heard that they have,
Go back.
there's a flood tablet that tells the flood narrative. In the Birch Bark Scrolls,
Oh no,
they
yeah.
have flood,
Where's this located? This is just
the Deluge tablet right here.
yeah, but where is it located from?
Well, I mean, we read it.
So the thing about BYU is they say that the Michigan relics are fake. Okay?
Oh, really? Okay.
They've tested them their own way. They haven't thoroughly tested them, but they
Why wouldn't
But
they?
tons of people disagree with that.
yeah.
Why
thank
wouldn't
goodness.
they? It helps our cause. Why are these guys going against our cause? Like, just. Oh my
They're
goodness.
academics. They're
What
not.
is wrong?
They're not Latter-day Saints. It seems.
I might become a Ute.
Just,
Hey, these,
just
the author could be contacted in Battle Creek, Michigan.
oh,
This guy, whoever wrote this.
how old is he?
He's got.
Well, I mean,
dead by
he's
now.
dead, dude.
Oh,
Given the context and the title, this book is likely to be a valuable resource for those interested in early North American, specifically in understanding mound builders' contributions to prehistoric cultures. I'm gonna ask him, what do you make of this?
I don't know what year this was published. It doesn't have a year on it.
You can ask him here.
I mean, these quotes are from 1890, 1892.
The deluge tablet is likely depicts a scene related to a great flood. The images shows various figures, structures, symbols that can be interpreted as representing the narrative of the flood.
Look at this. That is a freaking alien spaceship right there.
What is this one?
is that all-seeing eye?
That's
of
a
God?
delusion, yeah.
That's what it is. So all
Water's boat.
And look, they're all like hands in the air as this alien spaceship is hovering. Look, they're all their hands
They're
are like,
worshiping it.
So this is just like the Michigan relics. This right here is Yod He Va.
Serious?
Yeah, that's cuneiform as well.
The book was, let's see, this book does not have a clear publication date visible from the provided images. However, given the context, style, and pricing information, it appears to be 20th century, 1900s to 1920. It's 100 years old. All right, let's grab the last one.
hold on. I gotta do this one for the camera. Hold on. You ready?
So that one was cool because of the ties to the Michigan relics and
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
the Book of the Law, the Book of the Deluge, and they're saying hopefully we can ask Minica about
Yeah.
these two pictures that we have
Yeah.
and get him to talk about his scrolls.
So where was that location again? You said it was...
Battle Creek, Michigan is where this author's from.
Okay. Yeah. So it's one of the Michigan relics for sure.
I wonder if when was the Michigan relics discovered?
Well, they say 1890, but I've heard stories of it being found earlier than when Scotfield and Soper got involved. That the reason why they're controversial is because of Scotfield and Soper. They Scotfield found a few,
And then he made up some fake ones after, right?
well, when he got in touch or started working with Soper.
Dude, that's what that guy that was the Egyptian artifacts guy for the country of Egypt. He got in trouble because he was selling
Fake.
stuff on the side and fakes on the side.
But they just had the concept of replicas.
Dude, want to know what's crazy? It gives the same time frame. They were discovered somewhere between 1890 and 1920. Same time this book was written.
Yeah.
Mission relics. What's this one?
Okay, this is the Utah Mound Builders.
Yes.
Can you get your gloves?
And
Or I
this
guess you don't
is
need them.
just a
Okay.
one pager.
Photocopy.
We'll have GPT do the whole work.
Is he going to be able to understand it all?
All of it.
Look at all that text. It's so
Bro,
small.
wait till you see.
ChatGPT has
Nothing-
20/20 vision.
Nothing shall be withheld from them. I'm telling you, this garbage. Watch this. It's gonna take it a bit. It'll even write code. I taught it to teach itself to write Python code. It'll do it. Watch.
It's insane.
Tell me what
It thinks in
this
Python.
all says.
You're kidding me.
Write it. In chronological. Write it chronically. Okay, so watch how it struggles to do this. It's going to go in and write code, I think.
Hey, are we gonna have to stop at Crown Burger?
I hope so. Oh look, it didn't even have to write code. Someone's house is knocked down. We'll skip that. He denounces the present commission of Washington, Proctor Knott. This is just a newspaper and it's going to be in there, a mention of it. Okay. Conway's lettering commercial. Advertisement. You want to hear the advertisements? There's a lot of oh wait, this isn't everything. You missed a lot.
You missed a lot. Is there anything on Utah mounds?
Yeah. I'll need to transcribe the article in detail here. Yeah, I'm going to tell it transcribe in detail.
We want the mementos of the Utah mound builders. That's the section we want right there.
Okay.
It's like, come on, you just asked me a question. Now
Yeah.
tell me something different. Make up your mind.
You interrupted me. Okay, now it's analyzing, which means it's... Is this the last one?
This is the last one.
Okay.
And then my vote is
Crownburger's right there.
Do you think he even knows what Crownburger is?
Do you know
I've heard of it.
How long have you lived here?
Listen, dude, he thought Farmington was 5 hours away. He lives in Orem. He thought Farmington was somehow like in Idaho.
No, I just thought the train would take 5 hours to get there. That's not the same thing, is it?
How do you, you've lived in Utah now for at least 20 years?
Okay, we're going to have to scan this one later. It's now going into overheat, which it does.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
Oh,
it.
it's analyzing one more time.
Make sure you get a photo.
I did.
Save a photo, okay.
Okay.
Let's zoom in on that
Just that
part
section.
alone. Zoom in on it.
It's right there. Go ahead.
I don't know which
It's
one
on
it
the
is.
top.
It's right there.
See, I think that if it could see it better, it would probably do a better job.
You're probably right.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. Okay, if you don't know what just happened, we literally just saw a couple documents about John the Beloved. That was truly insane. John the Beloved visited the Elk Nation. Alright guys, so we just finished here and we really reviewed some incredible documents, some books. One of them I think is probably going to be the hugest eye-opener. So a little while back we actually heard about a tribe called the Elk Tribe. Now when Mitiga was on our podcast, he actually mentioned the Elk Tribe, but we didn't really know much about it. He didn't go too much into detail. And now we just found a book talking all about this Elk Tribe and their visit with John the Revelator.
So we're going to be getting Payson soon.
Okay. Payson field trip. Thank you.
Well, that couldn't have been more fruitful.
Okay, so this is ChatGPT. It finally got the image that was talking about the Utah Mound Builders.
From the last book.
Yeah, from the
Utah
last
Mound Builders.
page, the Utah Mound Builders. I'm going to read what it says, okay? So, mind you, this is coming from a regional newspaper from the Utah Territory, right? So I'm going to read it in the voice of that day, okay? So it goes, Moments of the Utah Mound Builders. Eureka! Sentinel. Oh, this is the Eureka Sentinel in Nevada. Okay. Eureka.
Wow.
Okay. We are kindly permitted by a gentleman of this place make a public the following interesting letter from a friend at Payson, Utah Territory. The mounds are situated on what is known as Payson Farm, and are 6 in number, covering about 20 acres in land. Last year, while excavating one of the larger mounds, we discovered the feet of a large skeleton. Bro,
Whoa.
are we getting a giant? Are we getting a giant? Okay, a large skeleton, and carefully removing the hardened earth which it was embedded in, we succeeded in unearthing an entire skeleton without injury. And the human frame was gigantic. The human frame was giant. It's a giant. We have Paysons in giant. I can't even say it. I'm so excited. We have giants in Payson. What? Okay, okay. Gather myself. The tip of the tongue, the lips, the mouth. The tip of the tongue, the lips, the mouth. Okay. All right. The human frame was gigantic. The feet alone measured 6 inches in length. I think mine are longer than 6 inches. And was every respect that of a man except in size, which was quite as large, and must have had the appearance of being a giant nature. Near the skeleton were found pieces of cedar wood, cut in various fantastic shapes, and in the perfect state of preservation. The carvings show that the people of the unknown race were acquainted with the use of edged tools. We found a large stone pipe. The bowl which was inserted between the teeth of the skeleton. Wow, that's weird. The bowl of which was inserted between the teeth.
The bowl of the pipe was still in his mouth.
Okay, so he's like biting on his pipe. We also found a large stone
That's
pipe.
how
Okay.
he went. He's like,
I want to smoke it up, bro.
I gotta hit this last time.
I want to be smoking in the eternities, bro. Okay, the bowl of the pipe weighed 5 ounces, making the sandstone an aperture for the tobacco had the appearance of being dried out. The inhabitants here say the race of people existed here 1,400 years ago and belonged to a tribe known as the Nephites.
What?
Well, they're in Payson.
Yeah.
So they're talking to, and it wouldn't be the Nephites, it'd be the Jaredites, because the Nephites weren't giants, neither were the Lamanites.
Right, it would be the
What year
Jared-
was this printed?
I don't know.
1800s.
Okay, and had their ancient enemy, the Lamanites. We found another skeleton near that, and it must have been a woman. There was a neatly carved tombstone at the head of the skeleton, closed by the floor, was covered in a hard cement to all appearances. Part of the solid rock, now my voice is changing. Okay, let's see. Part of the solid rock, which after patient labor and exhausting effort was succeeded in penetrating, and found under the cover a box similarly constructed, in which were found about 3 pints of wheat kernels, most of which dissolved when brought in contact with the light and air. A few kernels found in the center of the heap looked bright and retained their freshness. These were carefully preserved, the last spring planted and grew nicely. Though the filled insects seemed determined to devour it, we raised 4.5 pounds of heads from these grain. The wheat is unlike any other we raised in this country and produces a large yield. Also, they're saying that they grew some of the corn that left over, they grew and it produced. Oh, wow. We found many curiosities in the mounds belonging to this ancient race, one inhabiting this section. We found houses in all the mounds, the rooms of which
Houses?
houses. The rooms of which are as perfect as the day they were built. All the apartments
Where
are
are
nicely
these?
plastered.
In Payson.
Some in white, others in red, crockeryware, cooking utensils, vases, many patterns
Heartland
similar
friends
to
are
the
gonna go
present
bonkers.
age are also found.
But where is this in Payson? Have we destroyed
We'll find it. We'll find it. As soon as we're done here, we'll find it. Many of them similar pattern. Okay, one large stone jug or a vase can be traced to a perfect delineation of the mountain near here for a distance of 20 miles. We have found several millstones used in grinding and plenty of charred corn, which crumbled into pieces on handling. Okay, so now we're going to ask it. Find me where in Payson. This is how we found the book of the Nemenha, or the Mentana archives, on the church history catalog. Okay, and what I'm going to show you is how you can go in and search for whatever records you want. And the church has this huge resource that most members don't even know about. And you can find stuff about genealogy, ancestors, any books and records they have. In fact, there's a lady who works there who said, I didn't even know this was available, and I searched some of my family history, and she found one of her great-great-grandfather's entire mission journal. All the cool stories and baptisms, she found it this way. So what you do is you just go and you can Google LDS Church History Catalog. Okay, and it'll pull you up to this site that is catalog.churchofjesuschrist.com. Okay, and what I did is I went in here and typed in Nemenha. Click search. It's looking through everything, and they have hundreds of thousands of documents. And we got it. Okay, Mentana Archives, the Nemenha. Okay, so we went and clicked on this one right here, volume 1 through 3. Click on it, come down, and it shows the Mentana Archives, the Nemenha, and the Book of the High Place, volume 1 through 3. And then it shows Philip Cloudhire Landis, 2007. Come down a little bit further. Copyright is Mentana Publishing, 2007, 2006. This is the call number. So you can copy and paste this.
Okay.
And I'll show you then how you can request it. Okay, but before we request it, I want to show you a couple things. Subjects, they have it listed under Book of Mormon Apocrypha. Interesting. So if you click on this, it takes you to
Other Book of Mormon Apocrypha.
3 of 3 out of all of their records. 3
Oh, look,
of
there's
3.
there's that sealed. I read that. It's garbage.
Okay, so let's go back to this. And this is what you do. You go into request and you sign in with your church.
Yes, Trevor Keys is verified with the church. Maybe.
There we go.
Okay, he's still
now
active.
you're in.
He's still in good standing.
Okay, so you can go in and you want to request, copy, the Mentana. Some of the materials require advance notice or special permission to access. So this means there's not a digital record of it. Okay, so you have to book an appointment with the church, which we did, which we're going to today. So you click OK, and you're back to the beginning. So then what I had to do is I had to go into the help and I had to search for how to create an appointment. And I went in and there's an email address that you can email them, send them an email. I had to wait 3 days. They said, wait 3 days for someone to get back to you. Nobody got back to me. So 6 days later, I called them and I said, hey, I put in a request. They pulled it up and they're like, oh yeah, we can get that. And I requested this and 4 other books. So we're gonna go review 5. We're gonna head in the car, drive down there today, see what happens.